Yes, officer, pull me over.
Hey, that's your back offset and then your front offset.
And back, you know what I mean? The hit, you know, gotta match.
Today's video is brought to you by Skillshare. If you have a skill that you've been wanting to explore and learn more about, Skillshare is a perfect place to be. With thousands of classes on topics including illustration, music, design, freelancing, entrepreneurship, there truly is a class for everyone. And with the Skillshare app available right at your fingertips, there's no reason why you shouldn't learn a new skill, get lost in creativity, and deepen existing passion. I started taking multiple classes by Savory 3D. The class that I'm taking right now is titled Internal Combustion Engine Basics. I find the classes that he posts on Skillshare really useful to me because I'm around engines every single day, whether it be a 2-stroke dirt bike engine, a 4-stroke quad engine, a diesel engine, or even a car engine. It doesn't really matter what I'm around. This video goes over everything. He also shows 3D renderings of the engines as they're running, so you can see what's going on inside the engine, which is pretty cool. Skillshare is meant for learning, so that means there's no ads to interrupt you as you're learning, and they're always launching new premium content so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. The first 1,000 of my followers that click the link in the description below or use my promo code Dippin will get a 1-month free trial to Skillshare, so you can try out Skillshare risk-free, see what the hype is all about, and get lost in your creativity. Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Let's get right back into the video.
You want to help so much, man? Come here.
Like, could you imagine just driving this thing in freaking 19, I don't know what year this is, but the 4-door first gen? It needs a Cummins swap for sure, but I could just imagine, what the heck, 566,000 miles? That's crazy. But could you just imagine cruising in this thing with all your buddies? I mean, you got 4 doors, but imagine cruising with a bunch of honeys. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could probably fit 4 in the back. 3 up front, just cruising with a bunch of honeys in this thing. Man, this is like a dream truck right here, having a 4-door first gen 12 valve Cummins. But this thing needs more power. You can't even do a burnout in it. We tried doing the burnout, spraying some water down, but could barely light them up. Yeah, this is pretty much every Cummins owner's dream truck right here, is a 4-door first gen. If you like first gens. If you don't like first gens, then obviously it's not your dream truck. But that's definitely one of my dream trucks right there. But we have the second gen down there. And got some good news. I traded my old transmission. The core, obviously, it's junk, but the core's good. This transmission right here. And I traded my old torque converter, not old torque converter, it's brand new, it has one drive on it, literally less than 10 miles. And yeah, it's like $850 triple disc torque converter. But I traded that to Chase, my transmission and torque converter, for this front axle down here. So we are gonna hopefully get started on the axle swap soon on this truck. Just need to get some coilovers so we can make sure everything's good. I don't want to start, you know, ripping stuff apart and the supply chain be all bad with getting coilovers in. So at first I asked Chase, I was like, hey, do you want to trade that axle down there for my torque converter? And he was like, throw in the transmission too. I was like, all right. I'm not going to do anything with the transmission or the torque converter. Might as well trade that for an axle. So now we have an axle. This is the axle that I actually traded for. I thought it was this one, but it's actually this one. This one was for, they were going to take all the guts out of this and the axle shafts for that blue truck. But I got it now, so it was a dually. We'll take those spacers off and just run it like normal. But we aren't going to go with the coil setup, so we'll cut these brackets off. Probably gonna have to cut off the at least this side, because it was bent, the control arm brackets, and make some new ones, which won't be a problem. We'll leave this down here for the coilover to sit in, and then believe this bracket's for the sway bar, so we'll probably have to make a new sway bar mount for that. But we have a front axle for the straight axle swap on this truck. So what we'll do, I'll show you guys on that 3500 over there, but we'll pretty much just gut everything that's hooked to the frame that goes with the 2-wheel drive independent front suspension setup on that truck. And as I show you on this 3500, there really isn't much to do as far as welding to the frame or bolting to the frame. So like I said, we're not going to go with this setup. We'll bolt on a coilover setup. That way we can powder coat it. If you powder coat it, then weld it. Powder coat's gonna get messed up. So we'll bolt on a coilover tower, and then, like I said, where the shock mounts will probably just be where the coilover mounts, and then possibly make new control arm brackets. But as far as to the frame of the truck, the only thing we really need to worry about is where the track bar connects to, and steering might be a little bit different because it is a 2-wheel drive. It's got 2-wheel drive steering, so we'll have to make something with that. And then we just have to worry about where the control arms mount to, somewhere over there. Not sure, still gotta see how it's all gonna go. But since I have those airbags from Pac Brake in the way right here, they're mounted on the leaf springs in the frame right there. It'd be hard to put a coilover right there. We could put it on the back side of it, but I talked to Chase for at least the airbags. Once we take the leaf springs out, we can just make a tower that bolts or welds to the axle that will make the airbag sit on there and not have the coil spring pack to support it. So that should be that part would be easy, mounting the coilovers. We probably can just do it on the backside, have a mount come off the backside and go straight down to the axle. I think that's probably what we'll do. We'll cut these shock mounts off and just put that coilover on the inside and have those bags on the outside, build a tower for that. Now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, it sounds more doable on the backside, the back axle end. But when we go to do this, say this was my truck right here and this whole section was the coilover, what we'll do, we'll put everything together, take it for a drive, make sure everything is good and the geometry of everything is good, steering is good. We'll take it back here, throw it up on the lift, we'll take everything apart. Axle, we'll take that whole thing apart and we'll powder coat all of that, powder coat the control arms, the long arm control arms, the coilover bracket, tower, powder coat everything, and then we'll have to put it all back together. So it is a pretty long process doing all this fabrication and powder coating and put everything back together, taking it apart and putting it back together again. But I feel like it's really doable. We just have to wait for the coilovers to come in. You know, national shortage of shipping times and products and stuff like that. It takes a while to get products right now, so I'm not sure when we'll get some coilovers, but that's one thing I do have to think about it. We're doing, dang, this wind. If we're gonna do coilovers in the front and the back, it means I gotta get 2 sets of them, which is double the price. So, yeah, man. I put a vinyl strip right there instead of tint. So now, instead of looking through that, just straight black painted. It's painted, boy. But one good thing is we have an axle now for the straight axle swap. I think you guys probably forgot that I forgot about the first gen. So let's go see what I've been working on with the first gen Cummins. All right, the first gen. You guys probably thought I forgot about the dang first gen, but I got tired of seeing green this whole dang time, every single time I look at it outside my house. I didn't get all of it off, but I sanded down probably like 90-95% of the green. This is pretty much the only big patch that's left, and you got a little bit right here, or right there. But I spent about 10 hours so far. I gotta take the back bumper off so I can get down right there, but I spent about 10 hours so far. Okay, I gotta do more on that, but it took a long time to get to this point, man. I was dusty. Oh, there was a bee on my hand. I even started to do the door. Yeah, so we're gonna end up taking this door off. I don't know if I mentioned it in this video or not, but this truck is gonna get wrapped, so I'm not too worried about the way it looks right now. The reason why I need to get all this green off was because I'm not gonna do a wrap over peeling paint and have the wrap not want to stick. So we still have to take the bed off of here. That way we can get to the back of the cab. I have a buddy on Instagram, said he'll send me a rear back glass for this thing. And then I think he said tail lights also. So I'll have to talk to him soon. That way we can get the rear back glass and not have it broken like that. But yeah, I got 120. This is probably 15 left out of 50. So I went through a lot of sanding this on that DA sander right there. So I said we're gonna do a wrap. The wrap color for this truck and the wrap color for my second gen are gonna be exactly the same. So I'm gonna have 2 matching trucks, and I think it's gonna turn out really good. I wanted to have 2 matching trucks. I wanted to do my other truck another color, but then I was like, I don't want this truck to be that color as well. So we're going with the same color. That will get revealed in a later video. But we have the front end, headlights out, the grill out, the bumper off. The plan to start working on this truck is still have not gotten it started. I've been so focused on the second gen that I haven't even thought about working on the engine on this thing. I was just bored one day. I got home from the shop and I was like, I'm gonna sand this thing down. So we still have a lot of sanding to do. I think for the spots that I can't get the sander in, like especially the holes right here, I can't get anything in there. I'm just going to get some aircraft remover, spray it on there, and hopefully that will take it off. But I started to taking stuff out of here. I need to take this fender well out of here because it's all rusted. I need to get a new one. But I was gonna start tracing down wires. I'm actually gonna go ahead and take out the AC on this truck. Not sure if it works or not, but I'll take everything out. We'll get a smaller belt. I'm gonna take the belt off of here and then try to start this up so it doesn't have all this resistance from all these other pulleys. It's only trying to spin the crankshaft, and that will give it a little bit better chance of firing. But I still think it's the injection pump on this thing that does not want to make it start. But I need to get all these wires cleaned up, figure out what wires go where, and yeah, it's just a whole process. But I'm gonna take that AC out, take that AC condenser out. I may put an external transmission cooler on this thing just so we can get the lines and the cooler out of the grill, because if we end up intercooling this thing, because it's not intercooled right now, I was thinking about either putting a water to air intercooler in this corner where the AC stuff is, and that way it'll kind of be like Caleb's truck where we have it on this, or he has it on this side. You just have the the inlet going to a filter, this part going to the intercooler right there, and then it shoots back over to here for the intake of the engine. If not that, then we will, throw an intercooler in the front, and we'll run it that way, just like we'll throw a second gen intercooler, or I think people usually put third gen intercoolers in these trucks. I'm not sure. I know they do second gens, but sometimes they do third gens because they're a little bit smaller, I believe. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, also for the doors, like I said, we're gonna take them off and paint the insides. I think I'm gonna go ahead and build some aluminum door cards for these things. Get rid of the stock plastic ones, because those are all broken and they look gross. So we can try and build a aluminum door card for this thing. We'll just cut holes for these. Don't work unless I just don't have them hooked up to the battery when I tried. We'll have to get a new motor in this thing also. The motor's fried on windows on both sides because I hooked both of them up to power and they just clicked. So but yeah, aluminum door cards. We'll make a cutout for the speaker in that aluminum door card, but I think that'll look really good. I'll have that powder coated, the color that the accent color that we're gonna go with this truck. You guys will learn that a little bit later. These will get powder coated, the accent color, the same color as the valve covers, the intake horn, everything that gets powder coated. Like my stuff was Illusion Violet. That stuff will get coated. That's the secondary color, and then the main color will be the wrap that I do the truck in. So there is the update on the first gen. The next video, we are going to be working on this first gen because we can't do much with the second gen. Probably ripping everything out of here, and I don't know about getting it started, but you guys will see another video on this first gen because I really need to make videos. Dude, it's about that time where bugs are gonna start coming out and annoying me, just like last year. But you guys been waiting on videos on this first gen for a while now, so I'm gonna go ahead and fulfill on your guys's wishes and start doing videos on this first gen, and hopefully get this thing started, probably with a new injection pump. I don't know, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Hopefully you guys are excited for everything that's happening to the second gen and everything that is happening with the first gen, baby. See you guys in the next one. Dippin Diesel out.